Welcome back, fellow time travelers and comic book aficionados, to another episode where we're going to look at more good girl art from Fiction House Comics. From the 1940s and early 1950s, Fiction House produced a lot of great titles, and the one we're going to look at today is Jumbo Comic. Right here we have Sheena covers and a lot of great Matt Baker, Jack Kamen artwork, and a lot more. So we're going to take a look at the pages one by one and explore some of the stories inside. Hold on, everybody, a moment. I just put a coin from 1945 and 1946. So we have some glitching and action of the magic of the time machine happening now. All right, we have here Jumbo Comics number 81 with a cover date from November of 1945. Appearing on the cover is Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, and all the action unfolding, including her good friend Bob Reynolds in the background. And this happens to be a Joe Doolin cover. Jumbo Comics ran for 167 issues from 1938 to 1953, and this happened to be one of the issues. So, taking a look inside, we have the splash page right there with a cheetah print outfit with Sheena happening to be mesmerized by statues and idols. The monkey below is Chim, who oftentimes gives Sheena some advice and warning, and the unstory folds with Bob and Sheena together and a tribe communication. And look at the artwork there by Robert Hayward Webb, otherwise known as Bob Webb, who has an identical and similar style as Matt Baker. They were both part of the Iger group, the Iger packagers of comics. And the adventure and story unfolds here with leopards in the background. We have Bob being bound and tied to a skewer there over fire, and Sheena throws a knife, as you can see right there, at the tribesman trying to help free her good friend Bob. On this page, we have the spy thriller of ZX5, and this is another story here featuring the super agent who often worked to stop the villains of the Axis. And here we have the Japanese depicted in this story. And he would report to Major Jason for his next mission. The artwork was done by Mort Leav throughout the series, as this was a repeating story in Jumbo Comics. Flipping the page, we have The Hawk, a story drawn by Bob Webb, and we have Captain Hawk and Velvet, the lady appearing here, aboard the Lady Scarlet ship. And about pirates and tales, here we have the villain called Tattoo on the left, and grabbing Velvet, Captain Hawk has to think quickly to rescue her and get the villains off of the deck of the ship. A lot of colorful artwork. Bob Webb worked on the syndicated strip from 1952 to 1969, featuring this particular story. And there she is, Velvet. The next splash page begins another story presenting Sky Girl, Matt Baker artwork to be had here featuring Ginger McGuire. Here trying to safely land a plane while flying over Burma, their plane was shot, and she manages to land the plane by a nearby temple that happens to be haunted. One can't miss the fact that Ginger's long legs transcend the panels of the comic art, and that was Matt Baker's genius in highlighting her form and telling the story. A lot of color, mystery, and different angles really advance the motion of the comic art. Leave it to Sky Girl to make things right. The next exciting story we have here is The Ghost Gallery, featuring Leila Costigan wearing green here with a mysterious hand tugging at her skirt from below. Surrounded by ghosts and mystery, Leila oftentimes has to solve the case on her own, and this colorful artwork was completed by Alex Blum. He worked during the Depression and joined the Iger group to support his family, where he feverishly worked and created a lot of art. He was also best known for working with Classic Illustrated, a Gilbertson publication from 1948 to 1955. He worked on 25 titles for that particular group. Alex Blum work shows the female form here and Leila in different angles as she tries to solve the problem. This is Fiction House, and this is Jumbo Comics number 81. Sheena returns on this cover of Jumbo Comics number 82 with a cover date of December of 1945. Another Joe Doolin cover, this time featuring the Ghost Raiders of the Golden Tuskers. And on the cover, we have Bob Reynolds, her longtime friend, captured and in bondage on top of the elephant there, and Sheena lurking in the trees, ready to strike. Let's open the book to enjoy the artwork inside, and we have Bob Webb here presenting Sheena once more, and this time she's sitting in the basket of a hot air balloon and talking with her longtime pal, Bob Reynolds. And they're in the jungle. You can see Bob, like Matt Baker, drawing the legs through the panels as the story is moving forward. A lot of colorful jungle landscape. You can see the animals, the birds flying. And in the background is Natana. She's a female villain, and she's constantly watching Sheena's every move as leopards are pouncing and running around. Sheena is quick to act, even wrestling one of the leopards right here as Natana is looking on. But of course, she's cutting the strings of the elevator and hot air balloon, causing trouble for Sheena. Bob Webb's artwork is terrific in that he even had a pen name as Bob Bristol because of the choice of paper that he liked to work on. Bob Webb even worked on Fight Comics and a number of stories, including this one. And there's Natana once again, and everything is resolved as Sheena has her in a grip hold right there, and Bob Reynolds is okay. Another spy thriller to enjoy. ZX5 at it again, this time in the night, quietly paratrooping down to the surface in Japan, nearby a factory. He sneaks in and tries to subdue the Japanese and stop their plan. And fun to see the artwork with airplanes and zeros in the sky, ramparts and blasts. Great artwork again. Typically Mort Leav and sometimes Jack Kamen with the artwork of this fun series here. The Hawk. Bob Webb at it again, and you can see the action in the trial going here of the pirate and maritime tale. Captain Hawk in the background with his captain hat, and also Velvet. And this time another adventure aboard the Lady Scarlet. The villainess featured in this story is Donna Carlos, and Velvet quickly catches on to her evil plot and even captures and sits on her as the story ends. Sky Girl featuring Ginger, Matt Baker goodness with the pilot taking the skies, this time crash landing among a group of natives, and this time the natives are joined by the Japanese, and here they are marooned on this log right there and trying to figure out a plan. Ginger quickly subdues and gets the interest of the locals who happen to be bowing down to her at her feet, and eventually the locals help to stop the Japanese. As reality sets in, her partner pulls her back into the plane to safety. The Ghost Gallery, another story yet again, the artwork of Alex Blum. You can see the shadowy figures and tracings that depict the ghost, and a lot of color. You can see the elements of time. You can see a beach scene here with the ladies in bikinis, the boats on the shore, and a lot of action. Fiction House is no stranger to creating exotic locales and females as well to try to entice the viewer. Even the editor would return back artwork and have the artist resubmit it for a better story. The back page of this issue has a tease of all the other covers from Ranger Comics, Planet Comics, including the jumbo comics that we saw, which happened to be issue number 82. More Sheena action can be found in Jumbo Comics number 90 with a cover date of August 1946. This is a Joe Doolin cover with Sheena atop of a tree looking down and aiming her bow to save Bob Reynolds, who happened to be dangling over hungry alligators. A nice glossy cover, thicker than the one before. As we open it up, we see a teaser of the different books from Jungle Comics, Rangers Comics, and even Fight Comics before looking at the splash page right here. Bob Webb with the artwork there, with the locals chasing her across the terrain of the jungle. The feature story, entitled Death Crawl of the Mastodon, features Sheena taking on different monsters and reptiles as she tries to save her dear friend from being sacrificed. The story also includes elements of hypnotism, as even her good friend turns against her, and also others, as she has to convince them that she is who she is. Here we have a battle of Bob Reynolds and Sheena fighting it out before Bob shakes his head, realizing that he did wrong and was under a spell. A lot of colorful panels, circles with the artwork to be had. Another Captain Hawk and Velvet story here, with the artwork of Bob Webb added again with the colorful and beautiful line work. And we have Velvet here with her shoulder exposed and her hands on her hip and showing a feminine side before engaging in action. Here, the captain and Velvet are fighting against the Black Patch and their crew because they're trying to steal cargo off of their ship. And quickly acting, the crew engages in battle to stop Black Patch and also his lady accomplice. In swashbuckling action, we can see Velvet swinging a dagger right there and landing blows before Captain Hawk pierces his male counterpart. Here we have even hair pulling, tugging, and action before the story closes and the others are being summoned by the police. The next story takes us to Sky Girl with a peculiar and odd splash page where Ginger is acting like an airplane with a person on her back. The story is about a great aviator who visits the airfield and asks to take Ginger on a ride. Little does she know the person is an imposter and wasn't supposed to be there while the real one was on the ground. So, in a surprise and panic, she lands the plane only to have a straitjacket and the psych ward take away the imposter. The spy action and thrilling tales of Agent ZX5 unfolding on these pages here. The artwork is done by Jack Kamen. Jack Kamen eventually joined EC Comics by his friend Al Feldstein, who enticed him to come over, where he drew romance and horror books. But while he was at Fiction House, he created a number of great stories, including this one. The Ghost Gallery, again featuring Leila Costigan. Wonderful artwork here. Jack Kamen on this one, and you can see Leila in green with her stylish jacket and suit in mist and talking to ghosts and phantoms to help solve the mystery. It's a fun story where the ghosts guide the outcome of the story, and here the story unfolds with some nice panel splicing and beautiful, colorful artwork. Layla makes an appearance in Jumbo Comics number 40, and till the end of the series, she has been in every issue since. A lot of great colors and fun. In the end, A Man's Pastime, featuring some pulp fiction books, The Lariat, Frontier, and Northwest, and look for the Fiction House Bullseye, that unmistakable logo of great pulp books and comics. And this happened to be Jumbo Comics number 90. Wow. Well, what did you think of that? Some spectacular art from the Golden Age, looking at some new artists like Bob Webb and revisiting some old ones like Matt Baker and Jack Kamen and more. So thanks for tagging along with me as we time travel back in time to some truly unique variety comics as represented in Jumbo Comic. So thank you for time traveling, and we'll catch you again on the next temporal rift of time with our time traveling journey. If you like what you saw, give a like or subscribe for more old books and new content.